Nominee, you can record the next questions. Junet.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, through you, I would like to ask the nominee, Honorable William Kabogo Gitau, that we are looking here at the suitability, his suitability to be the Cabinet Secretary for ICT. In that regard, having been a governor, member of parliament, and having run a huge county like Kiambu, I have no doubt in his capacity. But these are the questions I want to ask. In 2010, Honorable Chairman, the late Professor George Saitoti, then the Minister for Internal Security, named in Parliament persons suspected to be drug traffickers in connection with alleged illegal trade, drug trade, and who are under investigation. Among the persons that were named, Honorable Speaker, the name of Honorable Kabogo appeared on the list. Can you make it clear to this committee and the great people of this country who are watching you today, did you or have you ever been suspected or charged with the drug trafficking? Second question is, this is a simple one, during your tenure as a governor of Homa Bay, of Kiambu. No, Kichwangi, do you Homa Bay? It's Kiambu. You have snapped, they say many times, summons from the Senate. Now, as a cabinet secretary, you will be answerable to Parliament. These are, other than the appointing authority, these are your next employers, second employers. You will appear here every day to answer questions on ICT and those kind of things. Will you be able to appear before the Senate and the National Assembly at any time that are required? And lastly, people also describe you as somebody who is they say tough-headed, bordering arrogance, highest level of high-handedness. How are you going to be compatible now with being a CS with this kind of job that requires a lot of humility? And looking at your CV lastly, I went through, you have not indicated how many children you have. Can you share with the committee how many children you have, Honorable Kabogo?
Go on. In Africa, we don't count children, so you can ignore that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First, I appreciate the fact that Honorable Junet has said he has no doubt I have the capabilities of becoming Minister for ICT. I thank you. Party leader, Mheshimiwa Ichung'wa, is talking about working conditions and big tech companies. Like I said before, Mr. Speaker, it is the use of regulatory frameworks and legislative work that can help us deal with these big tech issues. And the way they take advantage of, especially African countries, in terms of call drops. I have been a victim of very many call drops by Safaricom itself. And the minute you call them and ask why is this happening, they say it is technology, it is these days, frequencies, all these stories. As Minister for ICT, if I'm confirmed, Mr. Speaker, this will become a thing of the past. We should be able to ask CA to be able to get call logs and determine how much call drops each caller has and what the company needs to do to compensate drop times. On the issue of hate speech and harmful content, again, this is a matter of every country having its own regulations. It is true if you look at TikTok, you look at Facebook and X, you will find all sorts of pornography, actually even available to children. This is a situation where our regulators should be able to engage these providers or the owners of these apps, Facebook, TikTok and others, to know how they can be regulated.
Nominee, it is not about the regulator. If you are approved, you'll be the minister providing policy direction.
Exactly,
That's
Mr.
what
Speaker.
Ichung'wa wants
So
to
my
know.
first directive to CA is to be able to get to know how this can be regulated. And we have technical people who have experience, Mr. Speaker, on how these things can be done. I should be able to sit with them on the first or second day of my term in office to make sure that there is a direct and clear way of dealing with these problems. So, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of exploitation, I have addressed that. Perfect and harmful content, again, it is a matter of great concern how much bad content is available on these platforms, and it is worldwide. We have seen situations where other countries have stopped certain platforms in operating, like, for example, the discussion now in the US, where TikTok is supposed to be banned from using the American airspace. I should be able to get to the bottom of these things and see that the Kenyan content is good for consumption for underage and also other users. If I go to, I'm not sure whether I got the third question from...
he asked if you are still chairman of Tujibebe party.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I am not a chairman of Jibebe now. The minute I was nominated by the president, I resigned the following day, and I think a copy of that is in the bundle of documents that I have given.